Chapter 11. Love Stories That Ended in Darkness, and Why Myths Told Them Anyway. 1. Orpheus and Eurydice, The Silence of the Lyre. In the hauntingly melodic narratives of Bulfinch and Ovid, love is the only power capable of braving the gates of the underworld. Yet it is ultimately undone by the fragility of the human heart. Orpheus, the son of a muse, possessed a music so divine that it could move the very stones and halt the flow of rivers. When his beloved Eurydice was snatched away by a serpent's bite on their wedding day, Orpheus did not merely mourn. He descended into the sunless depths of Hades. Armed only with his lyre, he played a melody so steeped in grief that the Furies wept for the first time. And the iron heart of the king of the dead softened. Hades granted his prayer with a singular, agonizing condition. Orpheus must lead her out to the light and never once look back until they reached the upper air. As they climbed the steep, silent path, the doubt, that ancient poison, began to fester. Hearing no footsteps behind him in the heavy gloom, Orpheus, in a moment of desperate love and agonizing uncertainty, turned his head. He saw her for a fleeting second. A pale shadow already receding into the mists. Her hand outstretched in a final, silent farewell. For the Greeks, this tragedy is the quintessential lesson on the limits of mortal will. Even the most transcendent love cannot bridge the chasm of death if it is shadowed by the slightest flicker of mistrust. 2. Sigyn and Loki, The Devotion in the Dark. In the prose Edda, love is not found in the blooming gardens of the south, but in the cold, salt-stained endurance of the north. After Loki orchestrated the death of the beloved god Baldur, he was captured by the Aesir and bound with the entrails of his own sons to 3 jagged stones in a cavern deep beneath the earth. Above his head, a venomous serpent was hung, destined to drip its burning acid onto his face for eternity, causing him to writhe in an agony that shook the foundations of the world. While the rest of the world celebrated the trickster's downfall, his wife Sigyn chose a path of silent, selfless martyrdom. She did not abandon the one who had betrayed the world. She stands beside him in the suffocating dark, holding a basin to catch the venom before it can touch his skin. Only when the bowl is full and she must turn away for a heartbeat to empty it does the poison strike, causing Loki's screams to manifest as earthquakes. Her story is the most poignant tragedy of the Norse world. A love that seeks no reward. A loyalty that persists in the face of absolute condemnation. Proving that even a monster can be the object of a love that is more enduring than stone. 3. Rama and Sita, The Fire of Honor. In the Ramayana, love is a sacred duty, dharma, that is crushed under the weight of royal expectation and social suspicion. After the epic war in Lanka, where Rama fought through legions of demons to rescue his wife Sita, their reunion was not the joyful end of a fairy tale. The whispers of the people, cruel and relentless, doubted Sita's purity after her long captivity in Ravana's palace. Though Rama knew her heart was as pure as the dawn, his role as the ideal king forced him to prioritize the honor of the throne over the yearnings of his heart. Sita, in a magnificent act of tragic dignity, called upon Agni, the god of fire, to witness her truth. She stepped into the roaring flames, and the fire refused to burn her, recognizing her absolute virtue. Yet even this divine vindication was not enough to quiet the world's malice. Their love ended in a second, more permanent exile, leading to a final separation where Sita returned to the embrace of the Earth Mother, and Rama was left to rule in a gilded, hollow splendor. Their story illustrates the Indian tragic ideal, that in a world governed by duty, the most beautiful love must sometimes be sacrificed to preserve the order of the universe. 4. Ovid's Pyramus and Thisbe, The Blood of the Mulberry. In Book 4 of the Metamorphoses, Ovid weaves a tale of forbidden love that would echo through the centuries to inspire the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. Pyramus and Thisbe, living in neighboring houses in Babylon, were separated by a thick wall built by their feuding families. Their love lived in a tiny chink in the masonry, through which they whispered their heart's desires. Their desperate plan to elope beneath a white mulberry tree at the tomb of Ninus ended in a series of fatal misunderstandings. A lioness with a blood-stained muzzle, a dropped veil, and a lover's hasty conclusion led Pyramus to fall upon his sword, believing his beloved dead. When Thisbe returned to find him dying, she followed him into the shadow, praying that their blood would be forever entwined. The gods, moved by their grief, transformed the fruit of the mulberry tree from white to deep crimson, as a permanent monument to their blood and their tragedy. This Roman narrative serves as a warning that love is a volatile flame, easily extinguished by the cold hand of fate and the haste of a heart that loves too much. 5. The Legend of Aesina, The Love of the Pack. In the foundational myths described by Bahatan Ojal, tragedy is not merely personal, but tribal. After an enemy raid left an entire Turkic clan slaughtered, only a small boy survived. His limbs severed and his body left to rot in a marsh. In this moment of absolute despair and betrayal of humanity, a silver-furred she-wolf named Asina found him. Their bond was a love of survival that transcended the natural law. The wolf nurtured the human, nursing him back to health and hiding him from the hunters who sought to erase his line. The tragedy lies in the loss of an entire civilization. But the love is found in the animal instinct that saved the cut, divine spark, of the Turks. When the enemies eventually found the boy, Hasina fled to the inaccessible valleys of the Altai Mountains. There she gave birth to 10 half-human half-wolf sons, the ancestors of the great Khans. This Turkic legend portrays love as a fierce, biological necessity, a protective force that rises when all human mercy has failed, ensuring that out of the ashes of a tragic massacre, a nation can be born anew.